Well, hello, 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 hello. Goodness gracious. Oh, I am a wreck, guys. I had a horrible night's sleep last night. Oh, so who all we got in here? I see we got three on here. I know Chuck's here. Hey, Chuck. I'm gonna give it a minute or two before I go into the whole event of yesterday slash last night. So I see we got somebody else coming on. All right. So as I said in my live stream yesterday, that was my first trip into Squatch Camp in quite a while. Um, I think it's been 2 years since I've been there. Forest Service has had the area closed down, so it was really nice to get in there. Let's see. Hi, Susan. Hi, Claude. Um, but so anyway, here's the whole skinny. I can give the whole trip pretty easily. I got into Squatch Camp yesterday late afternoon. Uh, Immediately, I went over to my gift stump and left 5 powdered donuts on the gift stump, and then walked out to the phone booth and made my first little, what was it, 45-second video saying I was going to go live, blah, blah. Anyway, so I was sitting out there and getting a little thirsty, and I didn't know if I was going to have enough battery power on my phone to do the next video. And so I decided I was going to walk back to camp. It's about 300 yards. And so I walked back to the camp and put the donuts in the truck, grabbed a Gatorade and my external power supply, and went back out and shot that video. Um, but one thing that I found, and I'm going to try and do something, forgive me, we're dealing with AST right now, Arizona Squatch Technology. Try and zoom in. I don't know how this is going to work, but there was a little glyph. It's 3 sticks, kind of making like an A or something like that. That was about 10 feet away from where I was sitting, and it was not there when I first got out there. So it had to have been put out there when I went back to camp. It's right where I step when I leave there. When I come in, I have a little route that I do, and if it would have been there when I came in the first time, I would have definitely seen it. So when I came back again, following that same loop that I always make, it was there. But so anyway, I got done making that other video, and I sat out there and watched the sunset, or as close to set. I wanted to get out of there and back over the camp before it got completely dark, so I could get set up for the night sit. But I decided I was going to walk back a little different. I went back by the gift stump because I wanted to check, make sure the donuts were still there. And well, I got to back up. When I put the donuts there years ago, I placed a little pinwheel, those little things that the kids use and blow on them, and the little wheel spins, little star wheel. I had placed one of those out there next to the gift stump on a downed log. I don't know, 3-4 years ago, something like that. Well, I happened to find it. It was sitting underneath 2 big pieces of bark, so I placed it back up there. So fast forward, I come back to check the donuts, and the pinwheel is off and laying on the ground. The stick with the little 90-degree angle thing that the pinwheel sits on was still there. Absolutely no wind. It's not like it got blown off or anything, but the donuts didn't get touched. And right around in that time frame, I got what we refer to as a little hello tingle, just a real light zap. It's kind of like, hi, we're here type thing. And so I kept walking back to camp because I wanted to get back to the campsite before it got dark. And there's this thing I call the twisty tree. I've made a couple of videos about it, back in the archives. But next to the twisty tree was two trees that were snapped, about the 9 foot level. Wasn't snow load. Didn't get enough snow this last year to accomplish that, and it's typical forest person break. So we'll just leave it at that. So I walked back to the camp. I got things set up. Got my sleeping bag laid out in the back of the truck with the sleeping pads, and went over and sat down in my chair, and starting to get just a little dark, but not dark out. And I got my first twinkle light back over and on the east side of the camp. We call it the room. If you go back through the archives and look at, I think I titled it Tour of Squatch Camp or something like that, you get the full layout of this area. But so I got a twinkle light from over there, and then in another area, so that would have been like at my almost 3 o'clock, about my 2:45 position where I got that twinkle light. At my 11 o'clock position, about 40 yards away, I got this streak of white light, and the only way I can describe it is a bright light went like this, but had a full tracer behind it. That was a split second. Then I started getting the typical clicks, and I'd gotten a clack other side of where my truck sits, because I always park my truck in the same spot. And so what I ended up doing after I got that, well, there was also a branch break or a light knock a little farther, probably 30 yards farther. But so I did a hand clap, and immediately, and I hope this doesn't get real distorted in the mic, but what would be at my 7:30, 8 o'clock position, probably about 25, 30 yards away, was, yeah, can't whistle, got to shave. Kind of a whistle like that. And I went, well, hey. And so I tried to mimic that back to him. Well, then off at my 1 o'clock position, the same thing. And and it's dark out right now. There, it's not birds, it's not coyotes, it's not giraffes. It's it's them. And then again at my let's see, there, 1, 2, 3. There's a total of 4 different whistles, and the last one was quite a ways off, back about my 5 o'clock position. But we just sat there whistling back and forth. Yeah, God, this went on for, I don't know, probably 10, 15 minutes. It was pretty awesome. I've never heard them whistle like that before, so that was a new treat. Typically when they whistle, it's a single whistle, and something like that. But yeah, this da 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 with the whistle, it was super cool. At one point, I knew I had somebody standing behind me. I don't know how close. Didn't turn around, but I could feel the massive presence behind me. And I got a pretty damn good zap, because I said, I know you're standing right behind me, and it's like, whap, I got a pretty damn good zap out of it. Not one of the strongest ones I've ever had by any means, but it was a good zap. I was happy about it. my brain just went total fog on me. Oh, I just lost track of where I was at. If I remember what happened next, I'll jump back to it. You got. I had very little sleep, and I'll get into that as I lay out the rest of the night. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I got the mind speak. Why do you call us brother? Yeah, and it wasn't in a derogatory type question, because whenever I see them, I'm hello, my brothers. But they ask, why do you always call us brother? And I made it real simple. I said, in my world, who I am, that if I respect somebody and I trust somebody, I will call them brother. This is, it's a military thing. It's a, biker world thing, all that kind of stuff. That's just how I am. If I respect you and I trust you, you're my brother. And they see, when I said that, the response I got was like of excitement. And earlier in the night, I had asked, because I ask this all the time, and it's the very first thing I ever recorded them speaking. And I've talked about it multiple times. I know I've got a video, or maybe 2 videos back in the archives. You can go to SoundCloud and find it. But it's hick too soon. And, so I'm always asking them, what does that mean? And I think I finally got the answer. Do not record. And is what I'm gathering out of it, because it's like they didn't want me to, they don't want me to use the audio recorder anymore. Always seemed that they didn't have a problem with that, and maybe they did, and they were just having a hard time getting it across to me, or something like that. But I didn't take the audio recorder because I was just going out, impromptu, just grab a sleeping bag, couple sleeping pads to throw on the back of the truck, and boom, I was gone. Didn't even take any food with me, just out. So it was pretty convincing to me that the hick to Sioux has something to do with do not record. Can I prove that dogmatically? Can I go to court and raise my right hand and say that's what it means? No, but that was the message I got: do not record. And so from here on out, I will not be taking audio recorder out. So it will be the only electronics I'll have out there is my phone and my radio and my truck. So we're going to leave it at that. They ask, I comply. I don't want to offend them. Excuse me. Coffee time. So anyway, after that, it started to die down, and I decided to call it a night. And I climbed in the back of the truck and ended up dealing with a trifecta of things that created a horrible night of sleep for me. 1, I didn't bring my CPAP machine. 2, I didn't even bring my pillow. And 3, every ridge and groove on the bed of my truck, even though I had 2 thick sleeping pads, I felt every single one of them. And so I was just not having a good night of sleep. I was waking up every 40 minutes to, probably an hour or something like that. And, at one point when I'd woke up, I can't be dogmatic about it. My hair was all over my face because of my sleeping bag and everything. But I'd lifted my head up and I thought I saw a figure standing out there, but I don't know. That falls underneath that category of a confirmed possibility of a definite maybe. And I went back to sleep. And then at another time, and this had actually woke me up. probably about 55-ish yards away from where I was at. There's a downed tree, and this is where that sound came from. But what it sounded like was if you took a big rock and threw it at an old half rotten down tree and just thud. That was the sound I heard, and and I woke up and tried to readjust and I went back to sleep for a little bit, but I finally woke up around 4 o'clock in the morning. Laid there for about 15 minutes, and I was like, you know what, I'm done. Climbed out of the truck, put my boots on, shut the tailgate, hopped in the truck, did him out. I was gone. So yeah, I've been up since 4 o'clock in the morning and running on probably 4 hours of sleep. So I'm a little right now. So that is what happened on this trip. That's just one day. It was good to be out there. It was great to be interacting with that family group again. I'll be out there this coming Monday, and I'll be staying there through Thursday or maybe Friday. That's all going to depend on Mama, how long she wants to stay out there, because we're down to one vehicle now. So I can't just nilly-willy up and leave like I'm known for doing. Okay, I see I got next time you're in Tennessee, I got a place to go camping. Lots of good stuff. Next time I'm in Tennessee, well, the last time I was in Tennessee was in November of 1990 when I left Fort Knox heading home. So I don't get out and travel that much, but if I am in Tennessee, maybe I'll look you up. So they have fear catching them on audio video. Why I got my theory. I don't think it has anything to do with fear. They have rules that they have to follow. They have guidelines. They have their hierarchy and they get their rules set for them. But I mean, Chuck, you're on here. You can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But it's our belief that rule came from much higher than inside of their hierarchy. Coming from who they consider the one, the Almighty, the Creator. So maybe that's where that guideline comes from, but that's kind of what we're leaning on. But the bottom line is, we know they don't like video cameras and having their picture taken, and made promises to them a long time ago that that I'll never try to do that, and never try and trick them or anything like that. We were under the impression that they didn't seem to mind the audio, and I just don't know with the audio, because all the stuff that I've got recorded on it, but I'm also thinking that maybe they're getting ready to step the game up with the interactions, and they don't want any record of it. I don't know. Going to keep going out and going to see if there's any changes in the activity without the audio recorder. That's for damn sure. But yeah, so that's what I have to say on that. They've got rules they have to follow, and they have to follow them. I guess so do we. We don't have to, but if we want to interact with them and we want to keep the trust that we have with them, then that's what we do. Yeah. Yeah, you'll find that. Um, what is it? Tennessee Living, 1984. Excellent. I agree. If I'm not recording, I get activity. Uh, yeah, it doesn't take rocket science. Definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And when you're out running, you know, trail cameras and trying to get pictures of them and all that. I mean, people have been doing this for 50 years, and look at what they have to show for it. Put it all away and get ready to step up to the next level, I guess. All right, Claude. You've had more activity in one day than I've had in 3 years. So if you want to do something, I would think it's a good idea. Oh yeah, it absolutely is. Um, yeah, like Chuck. Chuck on here. That's my partner, Chuck. Yeah, this is the first time that anything has been said to us about the audio. Um, I don't know. It is what it is, and we want to keep learning from them. And if we're going to learn from them, we have to abide by their wishes because we're in their living room. I mean, we're not going to run around the forest acting like the damn paparazzi. You, you're just not going to get a very warm welcome, are you? All right. So, anybody out there have any questions about anything? Because I can sit here and babble and babble and babble, especially as tired as I am. So being that we're here live, try and get a few questions answered, maybe if anybody has any, except for you, Chuck. No soup for you. Kevin, you keep going back. I'm done. Explain. Jay Fritz. Was it? Oh, Jay. Jay. Okay. God, I would love to have a conversation, private conversation, talk to you on the phone or something. Um, I would love to hear what happened to you guys. I sat there at the camp with Russ. God, 2, 3 o'clock, probably about 3 o'clock, and you guys still hadn't got there. So I just assumed maybe you were out sightseeing or something, and me and Rob, we went over to our research area to go out and do what we do. Um, I can, I mean, I haven't heard anything of your story. I don't. All I know is that you guys got lost, had a flat tire. You're out there for quite a while. Um, I can only surmise probably about where you were at. Um, just because as well as I know the area up there. Um, yeah, I would love to talk to you, to any of you three or all three of you. Um, you know, outside of the whole YouTube world or any of that. It's just my own personal curiosity of what you guys had happen, um, because I pretty sure it's going to tie into some stuff. Gifting is not a good idea, especially with food. You're gifting them. Well, yes, I am gifting them. And yes, I gift them food. I gift them stuff that they readily can't get their hands on, which is typically sweets. About the only sweets that I can guess that they ever get would be like honey. Um, but no, it's, you know, people come up with all these off the wall things and, don't gift them and blah, blah. You don't know who you're dealing with. I mean, you got to give these people more credit than that. Not only have I gifted them, but they have in return left gifts for us. Um, you know, it, I'm gonna pull one up for you. Um, Give me just a minute. We got to get into here. Get into here. Okay, those are gifts they left for my grandson. The bottom line is, yes, I leave them gifts. If they want them, they take them. If they don't want them, guess what? They don't take them. And then the Ravens come in and take them. And how do we know it's not always the Ravens? Because we put the gifts out uh, right as it's starting to get dark when the Ravens are bedded down. And we go check first thing in the morning before the Ravens are out and about. Um, I've caught the Ravens taking stuff, and so we kind of changed up the way that we were putting them out. Them sons of bitches even took a bar of soap from me. You have to go back to video uh, previously. Um, Jay, that sounds great. Yeah, yeah. I'm still waiting to hear back from Russ. I know he's going to be on tonight, and I'm probably going to jump on there real quick with him to chat for a minute. Yeah, like Chuck says, we tell them the sweets are for the little ones, and they do love the little white powdered donuts. Chris Kramer, my brother from another mother. Dude, I so wish you would have answered that call. I was going to rub it in. I was going to show you exactly where I was at. So you'll have to wait till next week, I guess, if you can get away. No, 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 no. I was at Squatch Camp and you weren't. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm tired, man. I wad too jealous. Use your other hand, Chris. Yeah. I can't wait to talk to you guys. I can kind of surmise what you guys saw. Uh, what you got to experience, but I want to hear it straight from you. Um, yeah, if Russ is on tonight, I'm gonna jump on there for a few minutes with him. I got to get my canopy back from them. I left canopy out there because of the weather, so that you guys would have some shelter from the rain. But So, Chris, are you gonna be good to go up sometime this next week? Sweet. We'll chat after a while. All right. Well, I think we've got enough ifs and buts and candy and nuts going on. Oh wait. I got a half bottle of Kentucky bourbon as a gift. Nice. Else in the giant tree arch gift for my son. I don't know if I can do a call-in show on YouTube. You have to understand, I am not a tech kind of guy. The fact that I even figured out how to operate a YouTube channel is a miracle. I'm a nuts and bolts kind of guy. I'm not an electronics guy, and I mean I can make phone calls, I can shoot a text, I can make a video. That's about it. Jay says Nikki could show you how. Well, if I could set that up on YouTube, you know, as long as it's not something I gotta pay out of my pocket for. I'm not a reach guy. But yeah, that if it could be done, that would be cool. I'd love to have people call in. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna sign off of this, and I think I'm gonna give Chris Kramer a call. Anyway, so that was the story. That's what happened on this trip. So I get back up there next week, and we'll continue on with all of this. And as always, I love each and every one of you. Thank you. Peace out.